that helps. Trying to make some shade. It's getting hella bright out here. Anyway, off camera, torqued all these down to torque specs. I always go in the middle of the spec range. Torque those down. I went to full 120 inch-pounds. Over here I did 135 inch-pounds. Let's see. Now we're ready for the cam rotor. There it is. Start to clean it up a little bit. So, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little tip right there. Right there. That's gonna line up right inside the notch in the cam. Alright, I got it on the lowest setting. I really don't need to torque it down. A couple of clicks on the lowest torque setting is fine. I'm just going to touch down. Touch down. And back off, quarter turn. With the standoff. Touch down, back off. Alright, so I'm going for top dead center on the front piston. So I feel compression coming out. Okay, so my LED light on the ignition module is tripping, acting up. It's not working. So we're gonna have to listen for the spark. Got my ignition on. I'm at top dead center on the front piston. Just gonna break these loose. All right, so there. Did you hear that click? Right there. I don't know if you heard that, but it's firing. All right. So, paint pen. What do we got? We got 26. These are adjustable push rods from Bender Cycles. 26 threads per inch. Times, let me see. So anyway, the quickest way I do it is I go 26 threads per inch times 0.100 for 100 thou. All right, so 26 threads times 0.1 times 6 flats. That number will give you the amount of flats that you're gonna turn. So let me put you on pause and write that math out, because obviously I'm using my phone. Can't use my phone for a calculator, so hold on a sec. All right. So, we'll do the intake push rod, then the exhaust. Then we'll do intake and exhaust. Let me see if you guys can see what's going on down here. Kind of blurry. Pretty sure it's because the battery's dying. So anyway. Oh man, am I missing a fucking O-ring? I sure as hell am. So I'm missing an O-ring. Well, that sucks. I just have to reuse the best O-ring that I have in my guide tube. All right. So all I'm doing is just lengthening push rods. But the trip is you got to keep chasing this jam nut. You got to keep chasing the push rod, or else the jam nut's going to end up way down inside the tappet block, and that ain't gonna do you no good. So I'm gonna get these two push rods in, on this front. And then I'll turn the camera back on for showing you zero lash and tightening the flaps. So zero lash is you extend your push rods out, open them up until you're in the cup of the so you want to be in the cup of the rocker, and you want to be in the cup of your tappet piston. Okay, and as you're extending, you just wiggle the rod in like a circular motion, and it'll easily and automatically seat in those in the two cups. So once you get there, you keep extending out until, and as you're turning, as I'm extending out, I was wiggling. And once all that wiggle stops, once all that circular motion stops, as you extending, you'll have a wide circle, and you keep extending the push rod longer, the circle gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until you get no movement at all. Okay? Now you're completely in the center of both cups, rocker arm and tappet. All right. Once that happens, zero lash is there's no tension. I can still spin the rod, but I don't have any wiggle room, no slop right and left. So once you're there, we determined that these push rods need 15.6 flats. So I marked the push rod right there and right there, because as I'm putting my wrench on this flat, on these flats, these are flats I'm counting, it's gonna rub off and disappear, but I put it there anyway. Okay, I'm gonna hold this section of the push rod. Can't really perceive it through camera, but there's a flat cut on this side and a flat cut on this side, so you can get a wrench in there and hold that bottom half from turning. All right, you have to do that. Okay, like that. So once again, this area is cut, there's a flat, and this area of the push rod, there's a flat cut out, so you can get a wrench on there. Mine happens to be 5/16. All right, so I'm going to hold it steady. Let me just turn it like that. I have my mark facing me, so I know every time that mark passes me, that's 6 flats. I'm going for 15.6, so that's like 15 and a half. I'm just going to do 16 flats. I get these opened up to the 16 flats on each one. I'm going to wait like 5, 10, whatever, however many minutes until I get zero backlash, until I can, because once I extend these rods out, it's going to be hella tight, because it's lifting my rocker arm up, which is pushing my valves down. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on these rods. Once they're adjusted out, you won't be able to twist them. When my tappet is completely bled out, then I'll be able to twist the rods like that without any effort. Once I can do that, then I can move to the rear half, find top dead center, and then repeat the process of installing these push rods. While I'm finding top dead center, if I hear any click or any crash up in the heads, that means something ain't right. That means my valves are crashing, my pistons. Okay, and we got to start over and figure things out. All right, going to pause. Put the keepers on. All right, so next thing is the D&D low cats, exhaust pipes. So I'm gonna prep this for the exhaust pipes, and then we'll be back on.